this.
Gabriele, well, third position in theory is fantastic, but you do look a little bit frustrated, I have to say.
Yeah, because I expected to be a little bit stronger on the start, but in the start I didn't gain any position. And with my speed, I mean, it's quite impossible. I followed the two guys in front of me for 4 or 5 laps. And after I decided to control Rob because he was very fast. I mean, at a certain moment, he was much faster than me, but my only focus was on up because I knew immediately that for me it was impossible to overtake the guy in front of me.
And now race 2, let's look ahead.
Yeah, it will be stronger, but because with our speed, also if you are faster on the lap, it's always very difficult to overtake a guy in front of you.
Well, it should be good for Honda, so hopefully race 2 will be much better for you.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, his teammate, Thiago Monteiro, starts on the front row of the grid on pole position. Nicky Katzberg will start in second place. But let's hear from Rob Huff, because he had a very enterprising race. Didn't quite manage to get by Gabriele Tarquini, though.
Within sniffing distance of a podium, Rob Huff, a genuine pace out of this line. It must be such a pleasure for you.
Yeah, fantastic result. You know, to do that here in Moscow is brilliant. And to have no problems with the car so far, the car be on the pace, have good pace. I was pushing Tarquini all the way, but I tried to make a few opportunities, but they just weren't quite big enough. But just to have that pace, to be able to keep with, you know, pretty much with the Citroens and the Honda was really good.
There was a couple of love taps that, if it had been the other way around, Gabriele would have definitely given you, wouldn't he?
Yeah, for sure. You know, World Touring Cars is all about a bit of rubbing and a bit of racing. So, you know, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, you've got to create an opportunity, and opportunities come from those very small touches and lunges. So, yeah, you've got to push where you can.
The car seemed to be particularly strong under brakes. I saw a lot of brake dust coming off the fronts. You've changed the discs. Are you changing anything for race 2?
No, just new brakes, bleed the brakes, a little tweak on the front bar, and we'll see what we can get in this one.
I'll let you get ready.
Cheers, Ben.
Well, Rob is going to start in 7th place on the grid. Ahead of him, Tom Chilton, Marc Quinghua, Hugo Vallant, Norbert Michelis, Nicky Katzberg and Thiago Monteiro. Jaap van Lagen, after qualifying, was stuck in 12th place for both races. But he progressed up into the points in race 1 and will be looking to do the same in race 2, maybe trying to follow the Citroens through.
Well, one gentleman who is having quite a tricky weekend this, isn't it? Talk us through race 1 for you.
Yeah, I don't think it's going well at all. Everything goes wrong, what has to go wrong. I had braked myself in the first corner. Then I was side by side with Jaapie. I thought he backed out because I looked, he's not there. But he was there. And then I was even behind Demosche, making big mistakes, but impossible to overtake him. I have all weekend already difficulty with the wheel spin and the understeer, and I just can't find it. I have no feeling with the car, completely none. I was driving last.
And your situation with Jaap, is this just a driver situation, or you think it's worse?
No, this was just I overtook him on the inside, no problem. I looked and then I saw, he's not there anymore, and that was it. It was a long right-hander, and the next one was left anyway. So I don't know.
Fair enough. Race 2.
Well, look, they're good friends, and certainly when Jaap came to the World Touring Car Championship at Lada, he'd go to Tom and say, what are you doing? How are you doing this? How do you manage that? To try and pick his brain on how you deal with these front drivers. But it's been a tough weekend for Coronel. Let's see what Jaap van Lagen has to say.
Just a quick one with Jaap. He's just talking to his race engineer. Jaap, a bit of a tension on the front left. Have you got a problem there?
No, not a problem. They changed the brake pads.
But also the tracking, was it maybe out from the contact with Coronel?
No, it's just control. But the steering wheel is in straight lines. Okay.
You're looking very hot.
Sorry?
You're looking very hot in there.
Very hot in the car, but I'm fit. No problem.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
You can almost see the grin extending out the side of his helmet. He's a very happy boy, Jaap van Lagen. Not perhaps with his grid position, but he'll work hard to get back into the points. Don't forget, you can see Over the Line tonight at WTCC.com, 9 p.m. Ben with some of the stars of the week. Stefano D'Aste ready to leave the pits. Dominic Greiner in the background, the less and less formidable by the week figure of Dominic Greiner in the background. His health regime is working very well. And new brakes and all sorts of setup going on Philippi's car. And this is going to be because of that contact earlier on.
Yes.
Looks like they're changing. Was it an upright? I can't see quite what's on the floor behind, actually.
Quite a lot of work going on there by the looks of things. But yeah, perhaps an upright, maybe a track rod or something.
Yeah. Off goes D'Aste. And see John Philippi strapping himself in. 2.5 minutes to get the cars out of the pit lane. It's a short pit lane here, so that's not a major drama. When it gets down to 1 minute and it's still on the air jacks, then you want to be hurrying up a little. You obviously don't want to drop it before it's got all its wheels on and you've managed to get all the mechanics out from underneath it.
Coronel sounded a little bit despondent in his interview there, didn't he? It was something you don't normally see from Tom. He seems like he's a little bit lost with the car this weekend. And
yeah,
he's obviously struggling with lots of things, but...
Well, with Tommy, what you see is always what you get. You know, if he's having a really great time, you know it. If he's having a shocker, you know it. You know, he's left nice big black drift marks there, but that's not his drift car. And, you know, right from the beginning of free practice, we looked at the car and it's, I mean, picking up the left rear wheel, the unladen rear wheel in those left-handers all the time, and in the right-handers, picking up the inside unladen rear wheel, and just oversteering all over the place. Now, he's saying he can't get rid of the understeer. Maybe he's making it oversteer more, but there's something in that balance between front and rear that's not yet working. He just, like he said, I've got no feeling at all for it. And that's a horrible place for a driver to be who normally is very in tune with his car.
It looked very, very soft in free practice compared to the fast cars. You know, like you said there, Martin, it was picking up a rear wheel. Obviously, front-wheel drive cars do that a lot, but it was like a massive amount. You know, the rear wheel was dangling way up in the air there, and it looked like it was almost falling over itself and overloading the tyre.
Which should dial out your understeer, but he's staying... I mean, we just saw him coming out of the pit lane and the car's sliding around like it's a rear driver, and he's still got understeer.
Yeah, soft doesn't necessarily mean more grip. It
No.
can, you know, it can mean, you know, there's a right parameter, the right window that you have to get it in, where it's not too soft and it's not too stiff either.
Okay, like I said, if it's still on the air jacks with a minute to go, the Campos boys are really on the hurry up. They're trying to reattach the flat floor or the wheel arch liner or something there. Start it up, because you don't want him to start from the pit lane if you don't have to. It's slightly a moot point. He is last on the grid. And you know what? I think now it would be better to get it done rather than not get it done. Of course, when he gets around to the grid, there's another 5 minutes or so you can finish off pits. But even so, he's got to get out of the pit lane. 25 seconds, Campos team manager, I think, just about called that right. And these boys, you know, we talk about how much time they spend away from the racetrack preparing the cars, but sometimes they really, really are under the gun, like 10 seconds and counting, and he just made it past before the red light went on. Now he'll want to do a practice start just to make sure he's got in his head the routine for starting the car. Pit lane is now closed. So that was neat work by the Campos guys, and the only thing you can't do then, Harry, is panic.
Yeah, you just they've all got to stay calm, haven't they? And they know they're up against time, and they know what they've got to do as well, so they just have to do what they've got to do. And I'm sure there'll be more work going on the grid here, but you know, even if you are last like he is, it's important to, you know, get your car on the grid if you can.
Yeah, and for the mechanics, you've got to get the job done right and safe. And if you're on time, you're on time, and if you're not on time, you're not on time. What you can't do is send the driver out believing his car is fixed and knowing it's not.
Yeah.
And there's not a mechanic up and down the pit lane that would ever do that. It's absolutely about the driver's safety. And when you're a mechanic, when you're wielding those spanners, every time you do that, his life is in your hands. Because if something's not right on the car, at racing speed, it can have all sorts of consequences.
Yeah.
Well, let's get down onto the grid. Our DHL pole sitter is Honda's Thiago Montero. Ben Costenjuris is with him.
Tiago was about to say it's a lovely view down to the first corner, but you're completely covered up. Excited to get a good result for Honda here?
Well, obviously, on this position, we are hoping for a good result, but nothing is a guarantee of a win or a good result, but I prefer to start down here than at the back, so we'll try to make the most out of that.
How did the car feel in race one?
It didn't feel bad. It was not amazing, but I was quite confident with it, and I was able to fight with Sebastian Loeb and pass him, so it's not bad. You have to be very careful with your tires, though. Very, very hot and very big degradation of the tires. I guess it's the same for everybody.
So is the plan to try and make a gap for the first couple of corners?
You will see.
Okay, Tiago, have a good one.
The plan will be to not fluff the start for certain and try and get ahead of the man alongside him, the rookie Nicky Katsberg. And you see him down there on the grid, and Alex Legui is with him. Let's hear from our front row starter.
Nicky, you're front row, P2. How's the pressure?
Well, pressure is pretty big at the moment. I would say the first race was not so bad, not perfect as well. But now from the front row, in front of all the Russians, yeah, it's a bit of pressure, but I should handle it.
There are yellow Lada flags, Rosneft flags everywhere. Everyone is rooting for you. What's your strategy behind Tiago?
Well, I think the Hondas usually have a very good start. So I'm just trying my best at the start, and after that, I will try to keep everybody behind.
Huffy proved in race one that the Ladas do have the speed, so fingers crossed for you.
Thank you.
Well, look, you know, talk about in at the deep end, H.
Yeah.
You know, you don't mind getting the call, you don't mind coming and doing this, but then actually to be faced with starting on the front row of the grid for the last race of the day here in the home team, that's tough. With all the experience around it, you know, Montero, Mikulits, Vallant, the speed, and then you've got the Citroen of Mar just 2 rows back, Chilton, Huff, Tarquini, and then, of course, you've got Lopez and Muller, the race 1 winner in 10th place. Well, teammate Jaap van Lagen will be the third of the Ladas in 12th place. Again, he'll be trying to follow through behind those Citroens, I'm sure. Ahead of Bonani, Coronel, Dasted, de Moustier. And the grid rounded out by Ricard Rydell and John Philippi. Lots of Rosneft yellow, lots of Lada fans here, lots and lots of Russian interest, hoping against hope for a home win. 4th in race 1. World champion Rob Huff in the number 12 Lada, trying to keep as cool as possible. This is tough though for the drivers. You're in these multi-layer fireproof suits with overalls. Underneath you've got the fireproof underwear, you've got a balaclava under your helmet, you've got a helmet on your head, even your hands are in gloves to stop any of the heat escaping. Obviously actually to stop the heat of the fire getting in, but in this case it stops any body heat escaping anywhere. There are no gaps, no seals, and so you're just sitting there basically like a casserole on a low heat in an oven, just getting hotter and hotter, cooking as you wait.
Yeah, and the things like the exhaust, for example, don't go through rubber mounts. They're mounted solid to the shell, so any temperature going up through the exhaust then soaks into the floor pan, which then heats up, and the whole car becomes like a little small oven, really. Yep. Like you said, that's the last thing you need in there is to be wrapped up with loads of clothes on and a thick helmet, and then I'd chuck some pressure into the situation as well, and you know, there you go. That's motorsport there. Yeah. Sure, there's plenty of worse things that could be doing.
And that's why all the doors are open. That's why a lot of them have those foil blankets that go over the windows for a bit of heat rejection, to try and not only stop the sunlight coming in, but stop the sun heat coming in as well, to bounce it off the car. Here's Hugo Vallant. Vallant starts in 4th place. Now, he's got to be a genuine podium contender. Started in the top 5 in the last 3 race weekends and has failed to convert any of them into a really strong race performance. He's just kind of tripped over himself a few too many times. But the front 3, Norbert Mikulis, Nicky Katsberg, Thiago Montero, well, I'd say probably all of them are capable of being on the podium as well. Norby, we've seen win races. He won in Hungary, of course. He was the first Honda driver to win this season. Nicky Katsberg, well, he's an unknown quantity in World Touring cars. He's been multiple race winner in the Renault Megane Euro Cup. car with a similar horsepower, but rear-wheel drive, of course, and fairly high aerodynamic demands. But he's also been a winner in GT3 over the last couple of seasons. And Thiago, well, he's had a really strong start to the year. Last time out at the Nordschleife, a little behind the 8 ball. Gabriele Tarquini sort of had the upper hand a little in free practice here, but Thiago, with his pole position for race 2, this is a golden opportunity.
Yeah.
The nearest Citroen is 5th, and that's Mar, and the next nearest Citroen is 9th, and that's Lopez. So there is metal between him and the fastest cars. The question is, of course, what happens with the others, because none of the cars behind him are that slow either.
Well, Montero did say as well earlier in free practice yesterday, he said that he was struggling a little bit with the balance and the overall feel of his car this weekend, where obviously Tarquini's found it's worked perfectly well, and he said, you know, this is one of those things in motorsport, and you have two guys who are both wanting to win. You both can't win all the time, so it's unusual that we've seen this season anyway Tarquini be fairly consistently faster over a weekend than Thiago Montero, but yeah, we have seen that this weekend. So I don't know, maybe we're kind of hanging a lot of weight on Montero's shoulders just because he's on pole, because it is still a big ask to go from there. You've got Katzberg, obviously new car, new championship, front-wheel drive. To convert that into a win, he has to be consistent. That's going to be difficult to do, and something which you're not overly familiar with. So I think Michelitz could be a good bet here as well.
Yep, I think anyone in the top 5 could easily win this. That goes down to Mar with Hugo Vallant there. He could win this. And you know, beyond that, the next row, you've got Tom Chilton, Rob Huff. I mean, it's not beyond the bounds of possibility. There's Mirek Bartos, our race director, getting ready to flag them away on the green flag lap. And Nicky Katzberg, if he had any apprehensions before now, must properly be starting to get himself a little worried about his starting routine, about getting his car off the line. He's used to now a series where they have rolling starts. In fact, he's been having rolling starts for the last maybe decade of racing. And now he's got to get a standing start launch, and he's got to do it off the front row of the grid. And in front of every racing driver in that position is the dangling carrot that you might win the race. Well, if he's feeling the nerves, I wonder how Thiago is feeling. Let's hear from our poleman as he leads us round the warm-up lap here, the final formation lap in Moscow.
Hello everyone, welcome to Russia. We are on pole position for this race. I'm warming up obviously my tires, my brakes, my gearbox. Everything is very important to be warm. The driver is warm enough already. It's important to do a good start obviously, and then really take care of my tires and push like hell. So we'll see, hopefully we'll do a good race. I'm quite confident. Let's go for it. Back to you. Enjoy.
Enjoy too, Thiago. Yes. Harry and I both laughed there when he was talking about the driver being hot enough. H, you can relate to that definitely, can't you?
Yeah, it's yeah. In some ways, I don't envy him sitting here in the air conditioning, but then yeah, I think I probably can. Anyway,
actually, it is a bit cold on my back. I'll just click it up another degree. Excellent. So, Thiago Montero leads the field. Nicky Katzberg, the rookie, the first-timer in the Lada, starts second. Norbert Michelitz, Hugo Vallant on row 2. Mark Winhar, Tom Chilton on row 3. Rob Huff here starts in 7th place ahead of Gabriele Tarquini, Jose Maria Lopez and Ivan Muller. And Thiago, I've got to preserve my tyres and go like hell. How do you do that?
Yeah, that's going to be it's a tough one. It's like I was saying before with Muller, when Muller was in the lead. You do need to push, you need to try and build a gap, but how much you push without ruining your tyres 5 laps before the end of the race it's kind of like an experienced guesswork really, but
yes, it is.
You know, Montero's got a lot of experience, so I'm sure he'll know exactly how much he's going to want to push, but that could be determined as well by how hard Katzberg pushes him from behind.
Absolutely. Pitboards coming in as the grid forms up here in Moscow. And Van Lagen takes up his grid spot as we are ready for race 2. The grid is complete. Round 10 of the FIA World Touring Car Championship here at Moscow Raceway. On the left with the green and white is Thiago Montero's Honda. On the right of your picture with the yellow, that is the Lada of rookie Nicky Katzberg. 5 red lights are on, away they go. Good start from Katzberg, good start from Thiago Montero. And here comes Norbert Nicholas. Contact with the Lada, he goes around the outside. And Ma is up to 3rd place. Qinghua Ma goes out very wide, drops down to 4th. Behind Katzberg, who will get his Lada in front, and Rob Huff is right by Hugo Vallant. Ma is in between a rock and a hard place. He's on the wrong line. He's got dirt on his tyres. Vallant gets through, and now right behind Huff is, I guess, Lopez. Lopez in the 2nd stitch, and Ma's got Huff on the inside, and that is that's Jaap van Lagen trying to go by Sebastian Loeb further back. Van Lagen gets dive bombed by Ricard Rijdel, who's made a good start. Van Lagen going backwards, I'm afraid. Not having the best weekend here. I think Huff got shuffled back a tiny bit. Van Lagen right in the thick of where all the action was in race 1, lap 1. Daste's off wide, inside goes Benani. A little further up the order, everything's staying relatively calm. Benani going outside of Daste to go inside again. There's some grip to give away. And look at Rijdel going by Coronel. The blue car is Rijdel, trying to go inside the DHL Chevy, can't quite do it.
Coronel's already had a hit from the back again.
Yeah, Van Lagen is right there as well in 46, the yellow Lada. Here comes Rijdel up the straight. Ricard looking really racy. You wouldn't think he's been out of the cockpit for over 2 months. Thiago Montero leads, Norbert Michelis 2nd, Nicky Katzberg 3rd on the podium at the moment. Only 15 laps to hold it. Chilton holding off. Muller, who's got Lopez inside, there's a rub. Just get away with that, don't they? But on board with Muller. Where is Lopez? Lopez is inside into turn 1. Muller uses the grippy outside line. He's going to try and hang on. And Lopez leaves in room. Muller still there on the outside. Lopez still leaves in room, but has the inside line in turn 1 and turn 2. Takes the place away and moves into 10th.
That was great stuff. A great opportunity taken by Lopez. There was a really small little love tap there, but nothing too malicious.
Just in front of them is Tom Chilton's red and black Chevy. There you can see the battle for 3rd place. And into the final corner. Lopez got in deep there, and Muller tried to close the door late on in the turn.
I think actually what happened, Muller was trying to get a cut back on Chilton and took up the inside, but Lopez saw the opportunity and managed to get inside both of them.
Yep. Well, got inside Muller eventually. Worked hard for it. There's Thiago Montero leading the race from Norbert Michelis. Ma again in trouble. Huff on the inside. Through goes Tarquini as well. But look how far they've dropped away from Vallant in just 1 lap. It's about a 2.5 seconds. They needed to get Ma out of the way. He's holding them up there. And I think Ma's car might be in trouble actually from maybe contact early on.
Montero's getting his head down there, putting in some really impressive laps early on.
Well, let's take a look at this. Oh, jump start from Qinghua Ma. That's not good. So he has dropped back and might get a penalty as well. He went while the lights were on, but before they changed. Loeb behind now, trying to get at least 1 successful overtake in this weekend, and it'll have to be on his teammate. Michelis, fastest race lap in 2nd place. Look again at the blue Honda of Ricard Rijdel. Inside, Jaap van Lagen. Had to back out of that one at the last moment. It wasn't happening for him. And whatever Coronel's done to his car might be working, because he's staying in front of Benani, and Benani's not closing. We're right behind with Van Lagen. And then the blue car, that's Rijdel. Then the black car, Daste. Now with Chilton, Lopez is right up his exhaust. Tom Chilton is in 9th. Sebastian Loeb was in 8th at the line. Ma in 7th. Those are the 2 cars right in front. Chilton's caught Ma, and here comes Lopez. I tell you what, he likes a pass, does Jose Maria Lopez, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he? He's not leaving any stone unturned with the opportunities he's having a look at.
Like a rat up a drain pipe, he is. And Ma has dropped way off. No, Loeb's dropped way off Ma. Ma's suddenly found his speed again. He's got his mojo working. And Loeb is now holding up Chilton. And Chilton, in turn, is worried that Lopez is going to appear alongside him. And it will be, won't it? It won't be a tiny overlap. He'll suddenly be a full car alongside, and that'll be that. Car 37, the start, is under investigation. And that is Jose Maria Lopez, in fact, who was creeping. I thought that was Mar, maybe not. Maybe it was. Oh, it was Lopez in front of Muller, in front of Loeb, rather. OK, so Lopez needs to hurry up because he might end up getting a drive-through for a jump start.
Mitchell, it's quicker again on that lap.
Chilton getting beaten up here. Jose Maria Lopez goes by. Ivan Muller is going to sit behind him. It'll be a white wall on the outside, and Tom gives Jose Maria a little nudge, and Ivan comes up the inside, and he gives Lopez a little nudge. So I'm liking this.
Yeah, they've obviously got no team order. Oh, Chilton back up the inside.
3 wide. Well, that doesn't beat the record. We had 4 wide down the front straight before. Chilton takes the place back.
Good move back from Chilton there as well.
Excellent. Top racing. Pulling away out front, by the way, Montero and Mikulits. Then 1.6 seconds back to Katzberg, Vallant, Huff, Tarquini. And then Mar has dropped off the tail of that little group by about a second and a bit behind Tarquini.
Look at Huff's last lap time. He's a full half a second faster than anybody else.
1:40.89. That was only 4/10 off the fastest race lap in race 1. Great stuff here. Lopez nudged out wide by Chilton. Keeps his foot in. Contact with Muller as he comes back, and yeah, well, the Citroën guys laugh because they all got away with that.
It looks like they're doing that testing that you were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go.
Driving into each other.
Okay, drive-through has been announced for Jose Maria Lopez, so his chance of scoring points is done. Vallant under pressure from Tarquini, and Huff has got through them all. Huff is now riding shotgun for Vallant, his new teammate. And it is an all-Honda affair for the lead. Montero versus Mikulits. Don't see, where did Huffy get by these 2 guys? We didn't see that, but Huffy, that is all Nicky Kasberg's wildest dreams come together. Huff can sit behind him. He's won races, he's taken podiums.
Do you think he will sit behind him? I'm not so sure if he will.
Here we go. This is Vallant behind Katzberg. So where does this happen? Well, Vallant made a mistake. Huff went scooting up the inside, hot off a fastest lap to close right down on him.
Yeah, it was almost like he caught him napping a little bit there.
Yep. I think Vallant must have just run wide in that downhill off camber, turn 11. On board with Jaap van Lagen. This is corner 9 and then 10. There's the downhill section 11. Oh, and through goes Tarquini.
That was a bit forceful, but it had the desired effect.
Gabriel is not quite have you off as soon as look at you like Nick Larini was in his pomp. But yeah, he doesn't mind. As Rob said, there is a bit of rubbing and a bit of racing, and there was a bit of both there.
Yeah.
Definitely Vallant is in trouble, and Bernani in the pit lane now. He wasn't making progress like he did in race 1, so what's happened with him? Here's our 2-way battle for the lead. Is Huff looking inside Katzberg? Yes, he is. Huff goes through for 3rd place ahead of Nicky Katzberg.
Yeah.
I wonder if Katzberg is running out of brakes already.
Lauda need the fastest of whoever, their fastest driver, whoever that might be, to take this scrap to the leaders, I guess.
Bernani's exhaust folded shut, we're hearing from the pit lane. Puncture left front for Jaap van Lagen. No, broken left front corner. Wheel is sticking out. That's not a puncture, that is a suspension breakage. Your steering arm is gone. It's a rear wheel, I beg your pardon. Men on the pit wall spotting that as it came past him. Hard to tell from the front. Quinghua Ma and Sebastian Loeb, 7th and 8th. And Van Lagen parks it. No option there, but unfortunately, is that down inside turn 1? And when is Lopez coming through for his drive-through? Because Lopez is currently, he's done it, yes he has, hasn't he? We didn't see that either. Mar over the brow, having a little wobble in front of Loeb.
Look at that pace that Huffy's got over Katzberg.
Incidentally, by the way, look at the way that Tarquini has gone away from these Chevys, these Citroens and the Chevy. He's just gone.
Yeah, dropped the hammer and he's off them.
Montero setting fastest sector times of the race at the moment, ahead of Mikulits as he needs to. Huff is third, and he's now pulling away from Katzberg. And then Tarquini and Vallant, and then, well, I did say there was an opportunity we might have no Citroens on the podium. At this rate, we're not going to have a Citroen in the top half dozen. Given that there are 5 of them that started the race, one's parked with a broken exhaust, one's had a drive-through, and the other 3 are intent on knocking the spots off each other. Sebastian Loeb was the best placed of the Citroen drivers in the race. That's now Qinghua Ma, and Ivan Muller is still behind both of them. So this is not going to be a big scorer for Muller. He's only in 9th. That's 2 points. It's not a lot to take out of race 2. All right, he got 25 in race 1, but he's only going to outscore Lopez by 2 here. And if Loeb can't possibly retake second place in the championship, however, so he will leave here in second. At the moment, though,
Rob Huff's just taken half a second out of the 2 Hondas in front of him.
And
What if they're starting to have tyre wear issues?
Well, they're all over each other, and he's now in clear air, and he didn't have any problems getting by Nicky Katzberg either.
No.
Loeb and Ma, though, how much fun is this? This is what we've wanted to see all year long. Citroens genuinely duffing each other up. And here comes Tarquini, and he shunts down the inside of Katzberg.
Rear upright failure.
Into the barrier.
That was his left rear's snap, I think.
Now, that was, I mean, he caught Nicky Katzberg for 4th very quickly, and Katzberg now perhaps under pressure from Hugo Vallant for 4th place. And that moves the Citroens automatically up into 6th, 7th and 8th. But Gabriele Tarquini's car badly damaged, lunges to the inside here. Lost the bumper, definitely, and you reckon...
Yeah,
left
rear.
Yeah, left rear just tucks under there.
He's lucky he didn't hit that quite a lot harder.
Yes, isn't he, though?
There you hear it snap there.
Yeah.
That seemed to break fairly easily, didn't it?
Well, it's not a load that you would normally expect a left rear upright to have to deal with. Just saw that actually Jaap van Lagen has pulled into the pit exit road on the grass, so he's not on the track, which is why there's not a yellow there. There's a yellow down where Gabriele went off, which was 11 into 12, wasn't it? 12 into 13.
Yeah, I think so.
Or 13, no, 13 into 14, the right-hander. So anyway, down there anyway, somewhere. So they come down the hill, and we'll pass Gabriele's car in a moment. And at the moment, top 3, 2 Hondas and a Lada. Thiago Montero leads here in Moscow, race 10 of the FIA World Touring Car Championship. What you're looking at is an all-Citroen battle for 6th position. 33, Qinghua Ma. 9, Sebastian Loeb. 68, Ivan Muller. 37, Jose Maria Lopez, our world champion. He has had a drive-through for that. For going before the lights changed, a jump start. He gained nothing because he stopped dead and then was gone. But you move. It's not if you gain, it's if you move. System automatically registers movement, and he was out. Gabriele Tarquini out of the race after a collision with Nicky Katzberg, the rookie. Tarquini lunged to the inside of the 4th place Lada. Contact. Tarquini's own car suffered a suspension breakage that pitched him off the road. Katzberg still in 4th. So top 2 Hondas, there you go. Thiago Montero leading the black and red car of Norbert Mikulits. 3rd and 4th, thank you very much, in Moscow, Ladas. 5th place is Chevrolet. 6th, 7th and 8th is the best that Citroen can muster at the moment in race 2. Halfway through, doesn't look like it's going to get an awful lot better for Citroen either.
No, it doesn't, but look at the speed of Huff. That is now down to half a second behind. from nearly 3 seconds down.
Well, you know what, with Rob Huff, if he's in 4th, he wants to be 3rd. He's now in 3rd. He doesn't want to be 3rd because he's catching both Hondas, and he knows from following Gabriele in race 1, he's faster than the Hondas.
Yeah.
And we know from him following Gabriele, he's faster than the Hondas. He's got 5 laps after this to get it done.
Yeah, there's still a long way to go. Yeah.
It's going to be mighty tough, but he's going to give it a try.
This Lada, it just seems to hold on to its tyres, and obviously the Hondas are definitely starting to struggle now. The Hondas have dropped off about 1.5 seconds from their ultimate lap pace.
And you can actually see Huff gaining corner by corner on those Hondas.
Yeah.
Right now, he is having a remarkable run. He was 1.4 seconds, 2 seconds behind, but behind the leader, but that is now coming right down.
It's great seeing the Citroens all battling it out as well. There's definitely no team orders going on here. They're all fist fighting with each other, which is what we want to see.
Absolutely right. Of course, the tyre temperatures, the factory cars will have tyre sensors for sensing the temperature of the tyres during the races. They'll know what temperatures they got to, so they'll maybe be able to play a little bit with tyre pressures for race 2 based on that, because these conditions are not like they were in race 1. And one of the Alan Menu's engineer, Albert, was just saying that he reckons the ex-Chevy driver's tyre management is absolutely stunning. So Rob Huff, you know, that's part of why his Lada is so much quicker than the lead Hondas at the moment, is that, as you said, Harry, he's keeping the tyres alive and using that extra speed. Now, the other side of that coin, of course, is from the first corner, Thiago Monteiro, the leader, has been battling with Norbert Mikulits.
Look at that.
So now they've got no tyre left. Huff has had a cleaner run through from 7th on the grid.
It's amazing, actually. You can tell that Rob's been heavily involved in the development of this car, because it actually looks like the old spec Chevrolet does.
Yeah.
The way its chassis characteristics on track, the way it turns in, the way it holds a tight line, and it can keep turning in tighter in the middle of the corner. It looks very, very reminiscent.
We talked about that, didn't we, when we talked about the development that Lada. Rob Huff drove, as you said, for RML Chevrolet. He knows what a good front-wheel drive touring car feels like. I mean, he really knows. For Jaap van Lagen and certainly for Nicky Katsburg, they've got no idea, because they haven't been in a front-running, top-of-the-field car like the Chevy Cruze was. And then Rob also drove for Seat as well, sort of, you know, in its dearth, but it was still, in its time, a top car. So he's got to lead the development, because even if Nicky stays and produces good race results, and if Jaap stays and produces good race results, they can't drive development because they don't know what good is. Rob has that key, and in fact, James Thompson had that key as well, but he's not in the team at the moment. Grégoire de Moustier battling with Stefano D'Aste. De Moustier having a little bit more get up and go in him in race 2, and again, maybe that is from race 1. We talked to his engineer about, you know, trying to light a fire under him a little bit after taking it easy, but this is another new track for him. As you know, we were saying, in race 2, he'll finish the weekend knowing far more about Moscow than he did before the races started.
Here comes Huffy. He's all over him now, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's a matter of time, I think.
Norby's last lap, a 1:42.6. Huffy's a 1:42.3. But Huffy's speed is now going to be completely dictated by the pace of the car in front of him. He's got to make a move on Norby sooner rather than later before Huff's own tyres start to overheat.
Look at the line that Huffy can pull in that Lada. He's able to turn in so much tighter and hold the line.
There's Jaap van Lagen watching in the Lada garage. And he'll be very excited to see a Lada getting right again into a podium position. Nicky Katsburg and Rob Huff had a really good run in race 1 and race 2. That didn't have all that wanted in qualifying, and that sort of set him back in the race. Nevertheless, Huffy's showing that this car has got lots of speed, and as a driver, Harry, that's what you want. You want to know that you've got a good car, and they have got a good car.
Yeah, it's great to see the gap close to the Citroens as well, from the Honda and from the Lada.
De Moustier, Lopez has now got by D'Aste as he continues to close up the order. So he is now in 12th. On board with Jose Maria Lopez, right behind Stefano D'Aste. This is where it happened. D'Aste using all the roads, and Lopez not, and still going through and going faster.
Yeah.
And ditch hooking like a proper rally driver. He's obviously got into the spirit of driving in Russia. Looking from Muller. See, Muller can't stay with Mar and Loeb at the moment, or maybe he's just not, because he realises that it might be a little fruitless. At the moment, he's in 8th. Lopez, having moved ahead of D'Aste, is 2 places from the points. And Huff, a lap on, still can't get by Norby. He's up the inside, not got the overlap. Turns through that corner tighter. He came off it tighter.
There he is.
Here we go, and he's through. Contact, but he is in. Now, as long as nothing's broken on either car, that'll be okay, because the door was open, and that was onto the back straight, and now he'll leave Norby. And the hard-worked Lada mechanics are very happy with that.
That was a great move, watch. Just manages to get inside. Norby sees him coming, tries to leave him a bit of room, and a slight touch, but...
Well, Norby knew he was in trouble, didn't he, when Rob caught him that closely. Rob had to throw it in sideways there. Again, that was almost pitched in on the handbrake to try and avoid T-boning him. And through comes Mar on Vallant. And Vallant was in 5th place. So Qinghua Ma now up to 5th, and through 2 goes Sebastian Loeb, and next will be Yvan Muller. Vallant's tyres must have just fallen off a cliff somewhere.
Yeah, he just got mugged by the Citroens there, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was up behind Nicky Katzberg, and this group is now 4 seconds behind Nicky Katzberg. I mean, he must almost feel like he's driving on the rims. Muller inside Loeb.
Yeah,
and through, contact, but he's through, and Loeb is now going to get jumped on by Chilton.
What a great race.
Yeah, and most of the excitement coming from the Citroens duffing each other up. I tell you, Muller doesn't even need a half chance, does he?
Yeah, watch that.
Where's this opportunity come from? He was outside, came inside just in case. Bingo. Door's not open, he's still got his foot in, and through he goes.
That was Loeb's front tyre smoking after the impact.
Sure was.
Time. I think maybe there was a bit of body weight in there, but bingo, bango, bongo,
yeah. Bingo, stingo. And suddenly, Muller's getting a move on as Lopez is still out of the points. This is a good race weekend for Van Muller. Out-qualified him, outscored him in race 1. He's going to outscore him, not by a big amount, but he's going to outscore him nevertheless in race 2. And Muller now behind Vallant. Ugo, prepare for contact, because it's coming. You know Muller's coming. Rob Huff in 2nd. Is he going to be able to close at all? Look at that. Pachito throwing the Citroen around. He might be right on the ragged edge. Muller straight up the centre of the track. Vallant tried to defend on the inside, and even that wasn't enough. Now he's got a bit of drive. See, RML Chevrolet still has great traction off the turns.
Watching Loeb's getting back involved as well, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and Ugo's car hopping around horribly there. I think that might have been a little nudge from behind from Sebastian Loeb.
Yeah, I think so.
Muller is through, and that makes him now 6th. It's taken a long while. This is now lap 15 for Rob Huff and Lada. At the start, he was 3.29 behind Thiago Monteiro. Last lap, Monteiro 42.18, Huff 42.5.
Yeah,
but he had to get by Norby.
I think that's what the Lada seems to have given up there. Maybe there was that little contact with Norby to kind of bent something a little bit, or maybe put the tracking out slightly, because he is definitely, the gap is definitely getting bigger again.
It might just be that actually Thiago did exactly what he said at the beginning, preserved his tyres and pushed like hell.
Yeah.
Preserved his tyres for half a dozen laps while Norby was stuck behind him, and now he might have one good lap in to just pull away from Huff to just seal the deal.
Yeah, he with his teammate behind him, well, sort of surrogate teammate, if you like, in the form of Norbert, then you know that he would have known deep down that that's not a major threat. So
well, he's not going to have him off, is he?
No.
On board with Tom Chilton, Ugo Vallant pulls over to the extreme left, and still Sebastian Loeb just drives by, and Chilton must smell the blood in the water because he knows that Vallant's got nothing left. Loeb's car smoking again under braking, so it looks like a wheel arch liner or something on the right front maybe is a little loose. Chilton being caught by Coronel, Coronel, who couldn't find pace with a map and a torch in race 1, whatever they've done for race 2, or whatever he's done in his head, suddenly he's all over Tom Chilton, who was way clear of him in terms of pace and positions in race 1. The two Royal cars are side by side, and they have Hugo Vallant holding them up in front. Chilton's looking inside.
Chevrolet sandwich going
yes,
on there.
Yes, it is. We're on lap 16. Lap 15, beg your pardon, of 16. Battle for 8th place behind the Citroens, who have all squeezed by. Thiago Monteiro, the race leader, and the gap remains 3 seconds over Rob Huff. That deal, I think, is done, although Thiago's car was making horrible, scrubby, understeering noises there. Looking back again from Hugo Vallant at Tom Chilton. The pace of these cars will be slowed right down.
Now Rydell's getting in the mix as well.
Yes, he is, isn't he? Because he's still in clear air. Yeah, Ricard's had a good couple of races, and actually, if he picks up one spot here, he'll be back in the points on his return. And again, he'd never raced here, he'd never been here to Moscow before, so race 1, he was still not sure where you could pass, where you couldn't. Philippe de Corsac, who mentors Hugo Vallant. And Rydell now does know where you can pass here, doesn't he? Knows a lot more about this track than he did coming here at the beginning of the week. Monteiro leads from Huff. Gap is stable at 3.3. Huffy brought it down by 2/10, but that's not enough. Needed to bring it down by 2 seconds. Mikulicz in 3rd is another 1.3 behind. Nicky Katzberg in 4th place. A debut in the World Touring Car Championship this weekend. Qualified 9th, started race 2 on the front row, and he'll finish in 4th position if he completes this lap. That is a really, really good performance from the young Dutchman. I bet he's not half glad that Jaap van Lagen came and knocked on his door and said, my team might be looking for a driver, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a great weekend, hasn't it? And
yeah.
Maybe we'll see him back more often, who knows?
Well, who knows? I mean, he has got a programme with Mark VDS Racing in the Blancpain Sprint Series. He's supposed to be at Zolder today racing in equally sunny conditions, but Mark VDS gave him the weekend off to come and become a factory World Touring Car Championship driver. So, depends now who's got more of a call on his services. Because I think he's surely shown already that he's got what it takes, and he doesn't know the car and he doesn't know the track, and I think he's done a standout job. Standout job too for Thiago Monteiro. The pole sitter wins here in Moscow. Race 10 of the World Touring Car Championship. Victory for Thiago Monteiro and Honda, and Rob Huff could barely be happier. Second for Lada. Victor Shapovalov is thrilled with that. And 3rd place for Norbert Mikulicz, 4th for Nicky Katzberg, 5th Qinghua Ma ahead of Muller and Loeb, then Vallant, Chilton, Coronel, Rydell and Lopez. And a win for the Castrol Honda team. Alessandro Mariani is very happy. There's Zoltan Zengo, Norby's boss, going off to offer his congratulations. Marco Calovolo shaking hands all round. And Victor Shapovalov will have a big, big smile on his face.
Yeah, that's a great result, isn't it? It's good to see the Ladas up there and the Hondas. And
yeah.
Who would have thought before this weekend you'd see Honda, Lada?
Absolutely. Best of the Citroen Armada in race 2 was in 5th position. That was Qinghua Ma. Of course, he made history here last year by winning race 2, wasn't it, to become the first ever Chinese driver to win an FIA World Championship race. And there's smiles all round. This is a big, big weekend for Lada, the promise of the car. Fuck Ferme. Your race winner in Moscow, race 2, round 10 of the World Touring Car Championship, Thiago Monteiro. Bravo, bravo. Well, there's some very happy Italians there in the Yasport team. William de Brecolaire in the background, the man who initiated this program. He'll be thrilled with that as well. Thiago's 6th career World Touring Car Championship win. And his last coming in 2013. So last year, an entirely winless season for him. And he claims victory again. There's Nicky Katzberg. There is Rob Huff. Second and fourth. And Jaap van Lagen as well, despite the fact he didn't have the greatest break in qualifying, and he had that suspension failure in race 2. He showed again that the car in the hands of all 3 Lada drivers has got genuine front-running pace. And there you go, Tom Coronel goes to offer fellow Dutchman Nicky Katzberg his congratulations, and to Huffy as well. Well, Alex Le Guy is in Parc Ferme. Let's catch up with our race winner here in Moscow,
well done.
Thiago Monteiro.
That was all right. It's very good, very, very good. I'm not sure what I enjoyed most, watching you come second and Katzberg.
A brilliant weekend for WTCC here in Russia, and a fantastic weekend for you. Thiago, that was a brilliant race.
Thank you, thank you. I really was looking forward, of course. It was very important. I mean, we had a decent weekend until then. I mean, with Gabriel on the podium already, you know, very competitive. And I struggled in qualifying for sure. And we managed to get this 10th place, which was very important, of course, for the final result. From that, you have to get a good start, focus on your front tires, push really hard. And of course, a little bit of extra pressure at the end. Rob was doing a very fast race. I could see him coming step by step. So the 6 last laps, I did a qualifying run. I was good. I'm really happy for the guys. You know, we worked so hard. Everybody pushed so hard. Lots of frustration so far, but this is a very well-deserved win for the whole team.
There was an awful lot of drama going on behind you, but the Honda seemed to outpace the lot. It's good for Honda, right?
Definitely, especially with these conditions, very hot, you know. Well, having said that, we are actually quite better or good on these hot conditions, so it was actually quite okay that the temperature raised. We are very good in managing the tires, and that was the key here in the race. You know, when you're at the front, you can control a little bit your pace. It makes everything easier. It's not easy, but it's easier than being fighting. So I'm just very happy, and I'm going to enjoy this one.
So happy for you. Well done, Thiago.
Yeah, congratulations indeed to Thiago Monteiro, to the Castrol Honda team.
Yeah.
There's Norman Michaelis looking hot and bothered after finishing in 3rd. And he is our top Yokohama finisher.
Yeah, you can see the joy on Thiago's face there. It's obviously been a long time coming, that win, and he's deserved it. He's been getting quicker and quicker, and he's kind of led that team over for the majority of this season anyway. So you can see he fully deserves that. And
he somehow seems to have shaken off the bad luck monkey that's followed him around for several seasons as well. If there was bad luck going, it always seemed to end up being Thiago's car that had, you know, the damage after minimal contact or whatever, and that seems to have gone. And even he recognises that, you know, you can't win on luck alone, but you can't win without the occasional rub of the green. So the championship then, 199 points gained in 10 races for Jose Maria Lopez. Ivan Muller is now 45 points behind him. And in 3rd place is Sebastian Loeb. That remains as it was. And Thiago Monteiro has a win now to add to his 4th points tally in the championship. Well, it's not just about the cars, this championship, as that clip showed, Harry Folkard. It is about the people as well. This is all sports about the people, isn't it? You know, the equipment and everything else, because we're petrol heads, we get quite caught up in that. But it's all about the humans, and there's an awful lot of humanity in that little clip. Coming out third place then, Norbert Mikulits. Good result for Zengo. Great result for Lada. This is the weekend where they finally have taken that step forward in maturity and pace. And what a place to display that. And for Thiago Monteiro, after a winless 2014, victory here will be very sweet indeed. And Norbert Mikulits, also the top Yokohama Trophy driver. So he will go away double-handed. And for our winning driver, the Portuguese national anthem.
Congratulations, Thiago.
And for our winning manufacturer, Honda, the Japanese anthem.
Congratulations to the Honda team.
So, congratulations indeed to the Castrol Honda team, to everybody at Yas and at Honda and at Mugen, the engine providers. Daisuke there, the head of the program for Honda, out there to receive the trophy. Our third place driver then is Norbert Mikulits. Zengo again proving that their car has got every ounce of pace that the factory cars have, and proving it's got every ounce of pace of any of the factory cars right now is Rob Huff's Lada. Second place here after fourth in race one. Couldn't get by for third place. Gabriele Tarquini held him off, but he got by this time and on the podium. However, behind another Castrol Honda, denying him first a podium in race one and then a victory in race two. Curse those Castrol Hondas, say the Lada fans.
Yeah, but what a great result for Lada for this weekend as well. And like you said, it's in Moscow. You couldn't pick a better, it's a fairy tale come true, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. What a time to come of age for the Lada Vesta, and it really has here. And on behalf of Advan Yokohama, the Independence Trophy Award goes to Norbert Mikulits. Tom Chilton winning it in race one, of course. So Norby will continue to lead the championship.
Congratulations. And now...
And a little photo op for everybody in yellow down there and a whole host of others. Little time for a timely shower. Not sure I want to spend the rest of the day sticky and coated in champagne, but there you go. The drivers are going to get out of their overalls as soon as ever they can anyway, because they are steaming and sweaty. They'll go out to the press conference and let everybody know their thoughts. And then they will get stripped down and get into something a lot cooler than a hot, tiring race suit.
Yeah.
Well, Harry Folkard, what a busy race weekend we've had. So much going on, it's hard almost to know where to start.
Yeah, that was a great race too, wasn't it? Race one got a little bit processional in the middle, but had a good start and end, like all good storybooks. And race two was pretty exciting all the way through, really.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Thiago Monteiro, the winner, from Rob Huff and Norbert Mikulits. Nicky Katzberg, well, that's one of my stories of the weekend. Drafted in at last minute. He had 1 day of testing, a couple of hours he ran the car at Manicure, and then dropped into a very alien championship, a world championship full of alien cars and alien drivers, and he's done a standout job. He had the pace to be on the podium, and really good run in qualifying. And now 14th in the championship for Lada with a dozen points to his name in his maiden race weekend. You can't argue with that. And what a time to be joining the team. I'm sure he would be happy to stay if they ask him. Jose Maria Lopez, well, drive-through penalty, but still a big championship lead for him. And Constantinos in the back of the garage. Don't forget, you can catch up with after the line, or across the line, or behind the line, or under the line at one of those on the World Touring Car Championship website, WTCC.com, after the race. And then we'll be talking. Cast of thousands. Who's he? For certain, he's going to have Rob Huff in there. Probably Victor Shapovalov. I mean, you know who else? Everyone. Ivan, maybe Jose Maria Lopez. I mean, too many. So it's going to be very interesting to hear from everybody about what has been a really entertaining race weekend. So thanks to Ben, to Alex Legui for working the pit lane for us. Thanks to the entire team here from Sebastian all the way down, Seb Tiffert, our head of production. And thanks also to Harry Folkard for putting up with all the nonsense in the booth. And thanks most of all to you for joining us. We'll see you next time out in a fortnight from now. We'll be at the Slovakia Ring in Slovakia. And then the week after that, we head to the Circuit Paul Ricard in the south of France. 2 weekends on the bounce. First, we've got to deal with the follow-on from a very entertaining Moscow race weekend. But until the next time, me, Martin Haven, it's goodbye from Moscow. Das Svidaniya.